This video is brought to you today by Ghost Tags. This is my own company that I started because I wanted a glow-in-the-dark AirTag case. These things are awesome. You can stick them on your backpack, on your dog's collar, and you will be able to find it at night. We've got two colors, blue and green. They've got great reviews. Go check them out. Links to them down below. Now on to the video. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Slim and you're watching Slimathy TV. In this video, I want to do a really quick video going over the iPhone 14 versus the iPhone 14 Pro. I know there's probably a bunch of you sitting out there right now like, man, should I get the 14 or should I get the luxurious iPhone 14 Pro for 200 bucks more? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about it and we're going to see which one might be right for you. First off, got to send out this disclaimer. 14 comes in two sizes, 6.1 and 6.7 for the Plus. So just keep that in mind. I do urge people to try out the Plus before purchasing it necessarily, if possible, because maybe go into an Apple store, feel it in your hand. It's a very big phone. It feels big. It is big. A lot of people might not like that. So just keep that in mind. Get whichever size you want. But this size, the 6.1, is the sweet spot. It is probably the perfect size for a phone, in my opinion. I highly recommend checking it out. And it's 100 bucks cheaper. So why would you want something that's so big and bulky when you can get something that's perfect? I don't know. Just my thoughts. But let's move over to the Pro, which starts at 1,000 bucks. And you can tell they put a lot more work into their website here for the Pro. Comes in a couple different colors here. Really cool looking purple. That's the one I'm getting. But anyways, let's compare them. So we're going to go through this. I know not everyone has the same technical know-how as all the nerds online. So I'm going to try to break this down in a less nerdy fashion so you guys can understand and hopefully make the correct decision. So we got the 14 Pro, we got the 14, and you can just ignore the 13 Pro over here if you want. You can see the starting price, $200 difference. That's a pretty big difference right off the bat. But the Pro, you're getting ProMotion technology, which is 120 hertz screen, which you're not getting on this one, which personally, once I have that 120 hertz screen, which is a higher refresh rate, I can't go back to 60 hertz. So I highly recommend if you want something smoother, get the Pro. The screen will feel smoother. But if you don't know any different already and you have an iPhone 12 or 13 and it feels fine, you can stick with the 14 and you won't notice a difference. It'll feel great. But once you go up, you can't go back down. It's just weird like that. Anyways, it also has an always on display on the Pro. Do you care about that? I don't think I'm going to care about it that much, but it exists. The 14 Pro also has the dynamic island, which seems kind of like a gimmick. It should be cool, but is it worth an extra 200 bucks? Probably not. Emergency SOS, they both have that. Now, the 14 Pro has a 48 megapixel main camera, which is going to have some really nice shots. However, the 14 has a really good camera as is. So just because this doesn't say 48 megapixels, do not count this camera out. It's going to be great. In fact, the Pro is going to basically pixel bin. So it's going to take 48 megapixels and kind of condense it to 12 megapixels for normal pictures anyway. Nerd talk aside, basically, this one, the Pro will have better pictures, but the 14 is going to have fantastic pictures anyway. They both have autofocus on the front camera, which is awesome. Pro has 6x optical zoom, while the iPhone 14 only has 2. How often are you zooming? Keep that in mind. The Pro here has better battery life, and that is mostly thanks to the chip, which is their new A16. With the iPhone 14, you're actually getting last year's A15 chip, which by the way is awesome. It's a great chip. I'm super happy with my 13 Pro, which has this chip. So you're basically getting the base version iPhone 14, but you're getting the Pro chip from last year. Regardless, it's a great chip. No issues with that, no lag, no stutters, nothing like that. Same Face ID, same 5G, same everything here. You can see it's all exactly the same. Besides the fact that this one is stainless steel, if you care about that, it is what it is. Stainless steel does, in my opinion, last a little bit longer than aluminum. It really comes down to personal preference there. Capacity, you miss out on the 1 terabyte option with the 14. So if you want the 1 terabyte, you're gonna have to get the Pro. Probably not something many people get. I always stick with 256, it's been perfect. So like I already mentioned, display, you're not getting dynamic island with the 14 ProMotion or always on display. However, everything else is pretty similar. Really good color gamut right here. You can see they both have the wide color gamut P3, haptic touch. 14 does not get nearly as bright as the 14 Pro, but in day-to-day use, you probably won't notice. Height and weight, they're similar. Splash and water resistance is the same. Camera here, you're gonna see some differences with the apertures. So the 14 Pro is gonna have better apertures, gonna be better in low light. We already knew that. It has a better flash. They both have the photonic engine, which is great. Should make your pictures look a little bit better. You get night mode portraits with the 14 Pro, macro photography, and Pro RAW. You do not get that on the 14. If you have no idea what I just said, don't worry about it. You are probably just fine with the 14. You get macro video recording and ProRes video recording on the Pro. You do not get that on the 14. You get action mode on both of them. So if that's something you want. But overall, you can see they're pretty dang similar. So $200, you know, it is what it is. $200 is not chump change. That's a decent chunk of money. But you can see they come with pretty much the same chips here. Bluetooth 5.3, both Wi-Fi 6, no Wi-Fi 6E or any of that. The Pro does come with better GPS, precision dual frequency, so that should help better if you're in like New York City and you have skyscrapers. It'll help with that, get you a better reading. But realistically, I mean, the average person does not care about that at all. So yeah, this really comes down to price and the features. But more so than just that, I think this comes down to the screen. I think this is personally my deal breaker. I have to have promotion now. I can't go back. It's just, it feels choppy. I have an iPhone 10 I use for another business, and it's just, I hate looking at it after coming from the iPhone 13 Pro with the 120 hertz display. That is my deal breaker. Do you have your own deal breaker? Maybe. Maybe yours is the always on display. Maybe that's something you really want. So hop up to the Pro, pay the extra $200. But for most people, I am going to be very comfortable recommending the 14. But with that said, the 13 Pro and the iPhone 13 are still awesome phones. And if you're jumping down to the iPhone 14, you might be thinking to yourself, should I just get the 13 Pro or possibly the iPhone 13 for even cheaper for possibly very similar features? Now, the 13 and 13 Pro are not going to have the satellite or the crash detection, but they do have pretty similar stuff. So that's going to be another video that I'm going to make. But for now, if you're deciding between the 14 and 14 Pro and you definitely have to have one or the other, think about it. Do you want the screen to be 120 hertz? Do you want the dynamic island? And do you want the better camera? Those are the main things to think about. If yes, get the Pro, be happy with it. If not, get the 14. I think you'll be happy with that as well. Awesome phone, very similar to the Pro, just a few missing features, but you have to weigh for yourself if that's worth $200. For me, it's definitely worth it, but for you, it might not be. So think about it long and hard. You've got a day or two until pre-orders. So that's all I got for this one, guys. I didn't even mention the colors because I don't care. I don't base phones off of colors, but here are the colors for the 14 and the Pro. I think the black and the purple looks stunning. The gold, it looks more yellow than the current 13 Pro that I have. I have the gold one, but in pictures and stuff, it kind of looks the same as mine, so I don't know. And then this white is very white. So I'm getting deep purple. It looks cool. Shimmer's funny, and I just think it looks good. It catches the light in a million different ways. So anyways, that's all I got. If you want to see the 14 versus the 13 and 13 Pro, definitely check that video out. That one will be up soon. Hit this video with a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.